everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're exploring something really cool. The gut microbiome.
We'll be talking about the connection between gut health and overall wellness.
And we've got some amazing sources for this one.
Yeah, we've got ancient wisdom, some super interesting modern research, and even how this knowledge is being used in healthcare today.
Get ready to see how ancient practices are now being proven by science.
And most importantly, we'll discover what all this means for you.
It's kind of amazing, right? For centuries, people all over the world have understood how important the gut is.
Yeah, and now modern science is finally catching up and actually proving what ancient practices have known all along.
It's like we're rediscovering a lost world.
Exactly.
I mean, even Hippocrates, like way back in the day, said all disease begins in the gut. And this wasn't just some like Western idea.
Right.
You see it everywhere. Ancient Indian texts, traditional Japanese medicine.
Oh, yeah. And in traditional Japanese medicine called Kampo, they've been using special compounds for centuries to help the microbiome.
And they use those compounds to treat all kinds of problems, too.
Oh, yeah. From digestion problems to skin conditions.
Wow. So they really knew how important that gut connection was.
Yeah. They recognized that the gut is connected to pretty much every other system in your body.
It's like our ancestors were way ahead of the game, even without microscopes.
Yeah.
And get this. Our sources mention that humans have been fermenting food and drinks for thousands of years.
Oh, wow.
There's evidence of 7,000-year-old wine jars in Iran and yogurt in Central Asia, like 6,000 BC. Incredible.
And those fermented foods were full of things called prebiotics and probiotics.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
Yeah.
Those are really good for your gut, right?
They are. Prebiotics are a type of fiber that the good bacteria in your gut need.
Okay.
Probiotics are actually the good bacteria themselves.
So ancient people were essentially giving their gut microbiome a super boost.
Exactly. It's so fascinating to see how this ancient wisdom is being validated by modern science.
Oh, yeah, like that Russian immunologist, Ilya Mechnikov. Didn't he study those Bulgarian villages where everyone lived so long?
That's right. They're secret. They ate tons of fermented dairy.
And he thought those foods were helping the good bacteria grow in their gut, which made them healthier.
Exactly. And now, fast forward to today, we have studies showing a connection between our gut bacteria and things like wisdom and loneliness.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying there's a link between the bacteria in our gut and how wise we are?
It does sound wild, right? But there's a real connection there.
And loneliness, too.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing. But how is that even possible?
That's the big question scientists are trying to figure out. They're studying this thing called the gut-brain axis.
The gut-brain axis.
Yeah, it's like a communication highway between your gut and your brain.
So our gut and brain are constantly talking to each other.
Exactly. And that communication affects everything from our mood and how we think to our immune system and even what diseases we might get.
So the gut's not just about digestion.
Definitely not. It's a key player in our overall well-being. And this is changing how we think about healthcare.
Oh, well, so.
We're starting to move away from just treating symptoms.
Yeah.
And now we're trying to understand the root causes of disease.
And the gut microbiome is a big part of that.
A huge part.
This is all so incredibly complex. How can we even begin to make sense of this and actually use this information to improve our lives?
Well, that's where modern science comes in. We're learning about the important roles of prebiotics, probiotics, and dietary fiber in keeping our gut microbiome healthy.
So it's more than just taking a probiotic pill every now and then.
Exactly. It's about understanding how the things we eat and do every day impact those trillions of tiny organisms living inside us.
It's like we have this whole world inside us.
Yeah.
And what we eat directly affects how well that world runs.
That's a great way to put it. We're learning that eating lots of different plant fibers is crucial for the beneficial bacteria in our gut. And those good bacteria help us in so many ways. They help us digest food, produce vitamins, regulate our immune system, and even affect our mood and brain function.
Wow. It really is a delicate dance between what we eat and the well-being of our gut, huh?
It is. What we eat affects our microbiome, and our microbiome affects our overall well-being.
And this understanding is changing how we approach healthcare and even how new medicines are made.
Oh, absolutely.
I bet there are some amazing breakthroughs happening because of this research.
There are. One of the biggest is the move toward personalized medicine, where treatments are designed specifically for you based on your unique microbiome.
Wow. So it's like having a custom-made health plan based on the tiny world inside you.
Exactly. Imagine knowing how your gut bacteria might affect how well certain medications work for you,
But wow.
or even knowing if you're at risk for certain diseases because of your gut.
That would be a game changer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And what about mental health? We talked about that gut-brain connection earlier.
Right.
Is this research changing how we think about conditions like anxiety and depression?
Absolutely. The gut-brain axis is a hot topic in mental health research right now.
What are scientists finding?
Scientists are finding that changing the gut microbiome could actually help treat those conditions.
So it's not just about brain chemistry anymore.
Nope. We're now looking at the role of gut bacteria in mental health, too.
It's like a whole new way of thinking about mental well-being.
It really is. We've discovered this hidden world inside us that's playing a key role in how we think, how we feel, and even how we act.
It's amazing to think that ancient wisdom and modern science are finally coming together to figure out how to be truly healthy.
It really is a beautiful combination. And it's not just theory. We're seeing how this knowledge is being used in different fields already.
Like what?
Well, there's a skincare company called Into that uses probiotic ingredients based on ancient Japanese traditions to make products that promote a healthy skin microbiome.
So the same principles for gut health apply to our skin, too. That's fascinating.
Exactly. It's all about understanding the balance of those tiny organisms that live on and inside us.
Wow. So we've talked about ancient practices, cutting-edge research, and real-world applications.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
But before we get too carried away, let's connect all of this back to you, our listener.
Right. Why should you care about all of this?
Well, because understanding your gut microbiome is like having a secret weapon in your quest for optimal health.
It's about recognizing that your gut isn't just a digestive system.
Right.
It's a complex ecosystem that affects everything from your immune system and energy levels to your mood, how clearly you think, and even how likely you are to get certain chronic diseases.
And the most important thing is that you have the power to make changes to this ecosystem.
Absolutely. The choices you make about what you eat, how you handle stress, how much sleep you get.
Even the medications you take.
All of these things have an impact on the balance of bacteria in your gut.
So don't feel overwhelmed by all this information. Instead, feel empowered, knowing that you have more control over your health than you might think. You can make informed choices to support a thriving inner ecosystem. And that leads to a healthier, happier you.
I completely agree. You can even become a wiser you.
Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave you with a question to think about.
Okay.
If your gut microbiome can affect not just your physical health, but also your wisdom and how lonely you feel,
Wow.
what choices can you make today to help that inner ecosystem thrive? Think about it, and we'll pick up this conversation in part 2 of our deep dive.
Looking forward to it. Welcome back to our deep dive into the gut microbiome. It's an incredibly complex world inside us, but the good news is we can actually do a lot to shape it.
Okay, I'm all ears. How do we take charge of our gut health?
Well, first we need to understand how our modern lifestyle has kind of messed with the natural balance of our gut bacteria.
Like all the processed food and stress in our lives.
That's part of it. Think about our ancestors. They were exposed to so many more microbes just in their everyday lives.
Oh yeah, from the environment, their food, even just hanging out with other people.
Right. They ate whole foods, spent time outdoors, and didn't have all these antibiotics and hand sanitizers around.
So our world is too clean now.
In a way, yeah. It's great for preventing some diseases, but maybe not so great for our gut bacteria.
So how do we get back to that balance?
Well, remember those ancient cultures we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
They knew about the power of fermented foods.
Oh, right. The wine jars, the yogurt.
Exactly. It's amazing how those practices have been around for so long.
It must be because they really work.
That's right. Fermented foods are full of good bacteria.
Yeah, there's like little probiotic factories.
They really are. Yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, all those can help make our gut microbiome more diverse.
Okay, so swap those chips for some sauerkraut. Got it. What about fiber? I know it helps with digestion, but how does it help the microbiome?
Well, certain types of fiber, called prebiotics, act as food for the good bacteria in our gut.
So they help the good guys thrive.
Exactly. They help the good bacteria outcompete the bad bacteria.
So it's like we're creating a perfect environment for those good bacteria to grow.
You got it. And prebiotics are found in all kinds of plant-based foods. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, you name it.
So eating lots of different plant foods is basically like a feast for our good gut bacteria.
It is. They love it.
This is all making sense now. Fermented foods for probiotics and fiber for prebiotics. But what about those probiotic supplements? Are those helpful too?
They can be, especially if you're having gut problems or have just taken antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the bacteria in supplements are often just passing through.
What do you mean?
Well, they don't always stay in your gut permanently. They provide a boost, but it's temporary.
So they're just visiting.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's more important to create a welcoming environment for the bacteria that live there all the time.
So it's about long-term gut health, not a quick fix.
Exactly. And remember, diversity is key.
Yeah.
So focusing on eating a wide variety of foods with prebiotics is better than just relying on supplements.
Got it. But it's not just about food, right? What about stress?
Mm-hmm.
I know when I'm stressed, my stomach feels it.
Yeah, stress definitely affects the gut.
But how?
When we're stressed, our bodies release hormones like cortisol, and that can throw off the balance of bacteria in our gut. It can lead to inflammation and even something called leaky gut.
Leaky gut. That doesn't sound good.
It's not. So managing stress isn't just good for our mental health, it's crucial for our gut health too.
So medication, yoga, nature walks, all those things can help our gut.
Big time. Anything that helps you relax and de-stress can have a positive impact on your gut microbiome.
It's amazing how everything is connected.
Mm.
Our mind and body are constantly talking, and the gut is like the middleman.
It really is the central hub. And speaking of things that affect our gut, we can't forget about sleep.
Sleep.
When we don't get enough sleep, it disrupts our natural rhythms, and that can mess with our gut bacteria too.
So good sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's about supporting a healthy microbiome.
Exactly. It all comes back to a holistic approach to well-being. Taking care of yourself in every way is taking care of your gut.
Okay, so we need to manage stress, get enough sleep, eat lots of fiber and fermented foods, and maybe add a probiotic supplement sometimes. It's a lot to keep track of.
I know it seems like a lot, but the key is to focus on progress, not perfection. Just make small changes over time.
So don't feel like you have to do everything perfectly all at once.
Nope. It's about making those choices that nourish your gut and ultimately nourish you.
I love that. It's about realizing that our gut is this dynamic living thing that we can actually help thrive.
Exactly. It's a powerful feeling to know that we have so much influence over our own health.
This has been so eye-opening. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave you with another question.
Okay.
If our gut microbiome is so influenced by our lifestyle choices, what small changes can you make starting today to create a more diverse and balanced inner ecosystem?
Yeah, think about that.
We'll pick up this conversation in part 3 of our deep dive. Welcome back to our deep dive, everyone. We've learned so much about the gut microbiome, from ancient wisdom to modern science.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. But now I'm curious about the future.
Oh, yeah.
What's next for this exciting field of research?
Well, one of the most promising areas is personalized medicine.
Oh, personalized medicine. So like treatments designed just for me based on my gut bacteria.
Exactly. Imagine getting a gut microbiome analysis along with your regular blood work.
Wow, that would be incredible.
Your doctor could then prescribe specific probiotics or prebiotics,
Oh, wow.
or even give you dietary recommendations to optimize your health based on what's going on in your gut.
It's like having a personal trainer for your gut.
Yeah, a gut coach. And the potential benefits go way beyond just treating existing conditions.
Oh, really? How so?
This knowledge could revolutionize preventative healthcare.
Preventative healthcare. So we could actually stop health problems before they even start.
Exactly. By understanding your gut microbiome, healthcare providers could predict your risk for certain diseases.
Oh, wow.
And then they could help you take steps to prevent them.
That would be amazing. It's like having a crystal ball for your health.
It really is. And what about mental health?
Oh, yeah. We talk about how the gut and brain are connected.
Right.
Could personalized microbiome treatments help with things like anxiety and depression?
Absolutely. There are already clinical trials going on right now that are testing microbiome-based therapies
Really?
for all sorts of mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, even autism.
Wow. It's like a whole new frontier in mental health care.
It is. And who knows, maybe this research could even extend beyond healthcare.
What do you mean?
Imagine a world where we understand how the gut microbiome impacts things like how well athletes perform,
Oh, wow.
or even how we learn and think,
That's wild.
and even maybe our personality traits.
It's mind-blowing to think this tiny world inside us could have such a huge impact on our lives.
I know, right? This research really shows us how connected everything is, our bodies, our minds, and all those microbes living inside us.
It makes you realize how important it is to take care of our gut.
It really does.
Not just for ourselves, but for future generations, too.
That's a great point. This knowledge is a powerful tool for creating a healthier future for everyone.
Well, this has been an incredible journey.
It has.
We've covered so much, from ancient wisdom to the future of healthcare. And it feels like we've only just scratched the surface.
We have. There's so much more to learn.
But I think the biggest takeaway is that this is just the beginning.
It is.
And remember, you're not just along for the ride. You have the power to shape your gut microbiome with every choice you make.
So true.
So keep learning, keep exploring, and keep making those choices that support a healthy and thriving gut.
Absolutely. And until next time, take care of your incredible inner world.
And we'll see you on our next deep dive.